to another episode of Inside the Can, your guide inside the hottest, most honest trash talk. My name is JT, and as usual, Sensei Tyler. We appreciate you joining us as we get to know your waste inside and out. This week, we're taking a deep dive in hopes of getting a better look at the great white whale of a topic, recycling. We have the absolute honor of welcoming a garbologist from another holler, which is equivalent to a brother from another mother, Drey.
Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
We can't thank you enough for being with us today. Recycling is one of them topics that we figured it'd be nice to have another holler come in and talk some recycling with us.
Absolutely. We'll see what we can dig up today.
Perfect. What are some of the top issues you see with recycling from a hauler standpoint?
The 3 Bs, I like to say. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. I don't know if you're an Office fan, but regardless, it's actually 2 Bs. Batteries and bags. And it's probably a topic that you guys have touched on multiple times. Batteries, lithiums, they're starting fires all over the country right now. It's a pretty crazy deal. Quite honestly, it's what we likely believe started that fire up at the transfer station.
Really?
In Pine River here, what was that, a year and a half ago now. So kind of a delayed ignition kind of deal, a weird scenario that
that was after hours, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, everything had been closed up for hours, and it decided to ignite in the wee hours of the morning. So likely attributed that to the lithium batteries. But just really getting people to take those to where they need to go.
Fun fact, this is episode 9, and every episode we've talked about batteries because it is such a problem.
It is. I mean, everything in the industry, you go to any of our industry magazines, recycling magazines, they're all pushing, find a way to get batteries out of the waste stream. It's just such an issue.
The hard part is nobody knows where to take them. You know, there's not necessarily like a designated spot beside Cronin County.
Yeah, we got the Cronin County landfill take them. We got the Cass County transfer station that'll take them. I do believe the Ideal transfer station will take them.
They do, I believe. You pay your $15 annual fee or whatever.
Yes.
How about the Cass County transfer? Is it free for anybody to bring batteries there?
Cass County residents.
Okay.
Yeah.
If a Crow Wing resident comes, they pay for it?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
We'd have to check their fee schedule. But yeah, I'm sure there's something there that they take them for. Other than that, I do know it's kind of been hit or miss. There used to be some hardware stores that would take them, some that wouldn't. I had previously heard that batteries plus bulbs in
They buy batteries from it.
Right.
I don't think they buy them, but I think they'll take them still.
Right, exactly. And I know, again, lithium's a hot topic right now, and I think a lot of people are hesitant to want to take them, businesses and such. But I think we'll see a lot of potentially even legislation coming through trying to figure out how to manage that better.
We've even considered building some sort of container here to have a drop site for batteries, just because it was eye-opening for JT and I. We toured Demcon's facility in Shakopee. 3 to 4 fires a month.
Yeah,
they have.
I believe it.
Crazy amount.
I think I read a statistic here last week that something like 40% of all waste and recycling facilities have a fire at least annually.
Yeah.
Which, when you talk about the number, I mean, that's
40% of all
immense.
of them.
Yeah.
Things I worry about are at our shops. In the winter, we park trucks in our shops.
Right.
We know, like from last year, the fire at the transfer station, it can happen in the middle of the night. That would be devastating.
It would be. Yeah. It's a severe risk. I talked to some fleets more so out of the southern Minnesota area, and all winter long they park outside for that reason. They just can't lose, a section of their fleet. I mean, you guys park in here, you'd lose how many trucks in one shot?
Yeah.
Same with us. We got 6 in kind of our main facility there. To lose 6 trucks puts you in a real pickle rather quickly.
Yeah.
So
we ain't gonna take your garbage or your batteries.
Right, no doubt. And then I touched on bags as kind of the other big topic. And bags are just becoming an issue of convenience. I know everyone likes to have the bag in there to keep the trash can clean, but when you take it out to your cart, we're just asking people, shake that thing out. If you still want to throw that bag away, put it in the garbage then. The unfortunate side, and you guys probably saw it when you went to DemCon, when a bag of recyclables comes across that processing line, a lot of times it's getting yanked right off.
100% trash.
Right to the trash.
Thrown away, landfilled.
That was the most eye-opening for me, actually, was watching as it comes through that initial sort line. If it's a bag, they grab it and throw it right in the trash.
Yeah. For people who are doing the right way, clean and dry and all the sorts of things, to know that your bag got there and got landfilled would just be devastating.
Exactly.
So, and then you probably saw too, if it somehow makes it past that initial processing, it ends up tangling up so much stuff. Maybe the bag gets torn open, it gets wrapped around a pulley or a wheel or whatever it is. They'll have to shut down a facility that's running 100 ton an hour to untangle bags.
And they said bags are the number one tangler.
Yeah.
Number one contaminant in general.
No doubt.
And the hard part is for our drivers, a lot of people have bags. Every one of those stop, typing a note, bag. Then the office ladies have to take time to call.
But that's doing your due diligence. I mean, we do something of the similar sort. We see kind of some abuse, or it's not even intentional abuse. They just don't know otherwise, and so you try to find ways to inform them to be able to do it better.
I was going to ask about the education process because, like you said, you had to send a bunch of emails out the other day.
Right.
What is some steps that you think need to be taken, whether it's legislation or just local?
It's grassroots is what it is. And we do have on our website just a one-page pamphlet. There it says Cass County Recycling Guide, but quite honestly, it's for any county. It's pretty generic.
We actually use the same one.
Do you? Oh, perfect. Yeah, exactly. So having resources for people to go to, and it's amazing how often people are surprised that they've been doing it wrong for so long. And so I think it's that grassroots, just call it out when you see it, give that customer a call, friends, neighbors. To be quite honest, I say consult the kids.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
When we go and do these educational things in the elementaries, these kids rock it. I mean, they get like 99% of things right.
They soak it all up.
They do.
And then they go home and yell at their parents.
Exactly.
That's my favorite part.
And that's what I tell them is go home and train your parents, because when I go and do it, adults, they want to wish cycle, right? They want everything to be recyclable. Oh, that should be right. I'm going to recycle it. That thought and then compounding it can create contamination that unfortunately, there's always the threat of if that contamination gets too high in a load that we take down to the metro, they can deny our load. I mean, and that's crazy because that number can be as low as 20% threshold in an entire load. And now you're landfilling 20 tons of recycling. So
that expense is huge as
exactly.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
Your point about wish cycling. We've talked about it in some other episodes, but so many of these things that people wish could be recycled can be recycled, and
not
what
in your
can go in
curbside
recycling.
Yes,
like clothes. People will throw clothes in there all the time.
Right.
It can't go in there. You can recycle clothing, but you can't put it in your curbside container.
Yeah, we see a lot of miscellaneous metal as well as like cords, holiday lights, and things like that. That yes, those have a place where they can be recycled. Like you said, hey, the scrapyard in Pine River's got a bin out front. You can take all your miscellaneous car parts and throw it right in there. It'll get recycled. But I can't take your top end of the block in the curbside. It's just not what it's meant for.
We had a whole transmission one.
Yeah, right. That's one of those where you go to pick up the can, the bottom of the can stays there. It's like, oh man.
We didn't even empty it because Tim saw the transmission standing up out of there.
Oh my goodness, it's unfortunate. But.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of on that topic, how often do you see acceptable materials changing?
I think like any industry, it's ever evolving, right? And I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that recycling is the same nationwide, and it's just not the case. It all depends on where your recycling is being taken to. Pretty much everything in central Minnesota here ends up down in the Twin Cities. It's where the MRF is, the Material Recovery Facility. So we abide by their rules. Recently, they underwent some pretty substantial changes at the MRF, and so we kind of saw a change in what they were accepting. One specific item would be like your iced coffee cup now became they're accepting that as a recyclable, which historically we had told people was not recyclable. I think plastics in general over the last decade have been under scrutiny. Yeah. Just like what is, what isn't, when does it become not? You see the little number on the bottom and everyone thinks the triangle's recyclable. It's not the case. That's just a resin identification number. And so it tells you what it's made out of, but the process in which it was made can determine if it's a recyclable material or not. We've kind of gone full circle. We started with like darn near every resin number was recyclable. We went to just telling people, hey, if it's got a neck, it's probably recyclable. That's kind of a good rule of thumb. And now we're kind of back to basically 1s, 2s, and 5s across the board are pretty much recyclable. Most of those also have a neck, but it includes things like your yogurt, your butter containers, things that don't truly neck down.
And we also learned that the number 1s had a value to them, a good value for a long time, but just this year now they have no value. Right. They're not even able to use them a lot of times now.
Right.
But I don't think they're prepared to change that because they're feeling a shift coming again.
Exactly. When I was down at the facility most recently, they were talking about what you consider like your lined fibers. Like, for example, your ice cream tub, right? It's like a cardboardy paper material, but it's got a liner in it. They're still saying most of those are unacceptable if it's a truly like a polyline, like it's got a plastic liner in it.
Yep.
But they're saying the ones that are maybe more of like a chemical-based internal, that can break down.
Like a waxy cardboard kind of thing?
Yeah, in a way it's almost like a wax, but it's some type of chemical formula, right? And
in your ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Ding, ding, ding. But yeah, the recycling world is still ever changing. And I think we just have to be okay with that and kind of know that what they're doing and how they're separating it. You guys saw it, the amount of robotics that's in this stuff now. And it's probably all backed by AI and how it's all sorted.
It is.
It's not probably. It's all AI.
The AI sorter, it was like mind blowing.
I know.
The first things to put hands on it were humans.
Yeah.
But then everything else was all AI after that. And that was just crazy to watch.
And to watch how fast those machines move, they were going faster than we could see what was coming. It was insane.
It is wild.
Yeah, that my favorite machine reminds me of what you would think Star Wars would be. All the trash is falling off this giant ledge, and there's little jets of air shooting and pushing items up over another ledge as it separates.
Right.
That was just wild.
And then the magnetic field for aluminum cans.
Eddy currents.
Yeah.
Yep. No doubt. It's cool to see that. It's unfortunate that the amount of money that goes into a place like that can only be sustained by a metropolis, if you will.
Yep.
You know, it would be nice to have something like that up here where we're not transporting everything central state and northern state down there. But I get it. You're talking about probably $1 billion facility down there.
So much money. He told us what some of those robots cost. Millions.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
The one on the end.
The can one?
Yeah, the magnetic drum that was separating smashed flat aluminum cans right at the end from paper.
Oh, gotcha.
And I've never seen a magnet work on aluminum before, but it held it just enough on that magnetic force just to push it up over the edge as everything else falls.
What did you call that?
It's an eddy current, I believe, is the term for it. Was
like
it just separating the smashed ones? Like the whole one's been separated previously?
It was crushed flat ones because it was at the very end, and so it was just paper and those flat cans.
And that's a question we get often is, should I crush my aluminum cans? And I've always kind of said I don't think it really matters. I know eddy current and how it works. A whole aluminum can provides a better volume, if you will, for that current to work within it. But it sounds like they're still separating the flat ones. So
that's what he told us was he doesn't want them flat.
He doesn't want them flat.
No, because a lot of those go right past that. Gotcha. It thinks it's paper, essentially. Right. It's got to have some volume. Yeah. You can crush a can and it'll be fine. They just don't want it smashed. Like the can crushers, they don't want you to use those anymore.
Gotcha. You just hand crush it where it's still got a little... Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. If there was one thing you could tell your customers about recycling, what would it be?
Besides all the stuff we just said.
I think that still goes back to just the wish cycle. Just think about it before you do it. Be a good steward. Do a little research. Feel free to call us. I think Angie, Tyler, myself, any of my crew, they'll take your recycling question. And if you don't know, we generally find out. So
we want you to be successful at recycling because it makes us successful.
Yeah. We did get a question the other day. A customer actually sent in. It was an envelope, came in the mail, but it was in I'm going to say this wrong probably, but a vellum envelope. And vellum is like a plasticky paper, if you will. It's almost like semi-transparent or opaque. It lets light through. It was super odd. And they're like, what about this? I'm like, I have never seen that before in my life.
So that's a good point. When in doubt, throw it out.
Throw it out.
Yeah.
When in doubt, throw it out. Between that and the clean and dry, I think those are kind of like the catchphrases, right? You're going to rinse something out, do you have to physically dry it out? No, but they don't want food waste down there, right? Just think by the time it gets down there, it deteriorates and just gums up their system.
Yes, it's nasty.
Exactly. Yeah. If you've got something that's just, pizza box is the one we always get questions on, right? Well, how can I recycle my pizza box? Well, is it clean? Well, there was pizza in it. Well, if it's drenched in some good old grease and cheese, maybe tear the top off, recycle the top, and throw the bottom away, Just make good conscious decisions about what makes sense.
Get the most out of recycling.
Yeah.
Because the more, like you said earlier, the contamination rating, the more we throw crap in there, the more it's going to get rejected. And then the more the cost goes up, which ends up rising costs. There's another item on there, I believe.
Oh, it's coming.
Well, let's wait for that.
Segue.
Well, this has been another episode of Inside the Can. Follow us on your favorite social media sites to ensure that you do not miss the next aromatic adventure, because being trashy is much more sophisticated than you think.
Amen.
Got me picking my nose.
Why?